Hey there, we're gonna go visit Arianna Ratner. I'll be in the car for a while. Maybe I better pick some good tunes. Let's go. What do you love about voiceover?
I think what I love is it's purely about talent in a way. Like for on camera, theater is also, I think, purely about talent often. But on camera, there's a lot of muddled, like, you know, it's your looks and who you know and who you've met with and that kind of thing. Voiceovers is purely about if you're good enough for the job, if you're the voice that producer, the director, whoever heard when they wrote that character or wrote that copy. And I really love that. And I just think it's like, it's so fun. You can play whatever you want. You're not limited by what you look like. This is the future of voiceovers. You can do it from anywhere. And it looks like a sunglass case, and it's a tiny little mic. And it's by Shure. It's the Shure iPhone mic. I can't remember what but it's on Amazon. And basically the sound quality is so good that I've booked a job that they bought the audition from the audition. And I've recorded in my car, I've recorded in wind outside the car, and it still really sounds great. You can't hear anything. So I went to NYU, I went to Tisch, School of the Arts, and I feel like from an acting perspective, that definitely helps voiceover 100%. Because I think everything, even if it's a commercial copy, is a story, and just learning how to break down a story comes from acting training for me. But I also, voiceover training is different too. Like my dad's a big proponent of training. Like he trained until his agents were like, why are you still training? You are working consistently. So he like pounded that into me. And so I just keep taking classes, workshops, and coaches and everything. And I think it's really important because every aspect of voiceovers is like different, and everyone's opinion, people who've been working in this industry for so many years you can take one little nugget of information from one teacher and something from someone else and just like use it, same as acting training, I think. But voiceover it's more specific. Well, if I'm driving to the job in the car, I do my vocal warm-ups that I did from college. So I do like this and like these kind of things, and like I do a lot of like almost scale kind of things, or just exercises that we did in my acting classes. And I kind of do that before auditions too, just to warm up my voice, especially in the morning before auditions. My first memory of performing is not really performing, but my first commercial, I think I was about 3 or 4. And it was for Texaco, and I was hired as the backup kid. In case the little red-haired boy got sick or too tired or cranky. So I literally sat on set all day with my mom, and I was really sad. I just wanted to, because there was this big set on a soundstage, like half of a house, like really, and for like a 4-year-old, that's amazing. Like literally just like this giant house. And all I wanted to do was just go on the set and play on the house. And the little boy never got sick, and I sat there all day waiting to go be in the commercial. And I think I like called my dad crying, being like, I want to just be in the commercial, they won't let me. That's my first memory.
Oh my gosh. Did you do any stage acting as a little one?
I did, so I had a Sunday school, a Jewish Sunday school, and we did plays every year. So I also did we did a Triangle Shirtwaist Factory Fire play that I was in, and some other, yes. So I did a bunch of plays with Sholem, it was called. But I wanted to do these plays that were produced through the JCC at Barnstall. But since I was auditioning, because I auditioned a lot for film and TV, and I did modeling when I was little. And so I didn't have time to go to the rehearsals after school because I was auditioning all day, after school. So yeah, I was sad. I wanted to be, because they did all these musicals But I did, yeah, and then I did theater in middle school, at school, and then in high school I went to a performing arts high school, so I did theater there. And then I went to college and did theater there. So.
Let's talk about LACHSA and what it was like going to a performing arts high school.
So I decided, so I went to Oakwood, which is in North Hollywood, and I did theater there. I was in all the plays. And I had heard about LACHSA, this performing arts high school, and it was relatively new. I think the senior year class that I started was the first class or something like that. And so I auditioned and I went, and I just loved that it was, everyone was, the theater kids weren't nerdy. We were like a quarter of the school, and we had academics in the morning, and then we went and we just put on our black outfits and just like got to roll around on the floor and perform. And I had a class, one of the coolest classes was an accents and dialects class, which I think really helped me today, because I've always been doing accents and weird dialects. My sister, even, who's not even an actor, can do British accent really well. And so we would go to Disneyland when we were little and just like pretend we were British all day because we didn't want to be American. And so that class was awesome, and that helped me a lot. And I just feel like it really set me up for just like NYU for sure, and just like having that extra boost of training before college really helped. And I did a lot of really awesome plays there. Yeah, I loved it.
Okay, so this is a question that there might be an answer to or not. So if you were not an actor, what profession would you choose to do or be?
I have always loved fashion. Fashion is like my other love, and I actually am pursuing it. I have a website where I sell vintage clothing, and I interned for magazines in college and have done fashion journalism. So that's my other love, and right now, being freelance, I'm pursuing both. Like I'm able to do this website. Like we had a photo shoot yesterday, and then also voiceover. So that is my other love. And I've always kind of just like struggled on this path. I worked in retail for like 10 years, and obviously that's not the side of fashion that I wanted to be in, but it was nice to kind of like still be immersed in that world while pursuing acting and voiceovers. So yeah, I am pursuing my other passion.
What is your website's, what's it called?
My website it's called Stylish Abandon. The website is stylishabandonla.com. And basically the concept is, I have always loved vintage clothing, and we would go thrift shopping after high school and stuff. But really it's about like classic styles that are wearable always. They don't look like your mom's prom dress. They're whatever's trendy now, but in the vintage style, which is more well-made than what fast fashion is today. And also it's sustainable, and like it's reused clothing, but everything cycles in 20 years. So everything from 20 years ago, so the 90s is all back, even though it's hard to believe that's vintage, but so that style is back. So we're kind of like finding vintage that is current styles and kind of like marketing that. And I style it because I have a lot of styling experience. So I've been hired by people to go through their closets, kind of get rid of things that I think are, with their consent, what they don't wear anymore, what isn't classic, I'd say. My style, or what I really like, is just things that are always going to be almost in style. And I like trends, but I like more like classic, very French style, very simple and pretty and clean. So yeah, I go through people's closets, and then I do personal shopping as well. So I go with them and I've done it for people. It doesn't have, you don't have to have a lot of money. Like I've gone to TJ Maxx with a client and bought her a whole new wardrobe for like under $800, and a lot of pieces. And she needed professional clothing. And it's really interesting how people really, they have these styles that they think, or they have these insecurities about themselves and their bodies that they always have had. Like, I can't show my arms. Like, I never want to show my knees. And I've experienced this working in retail for 10 years. Like, inane things, you're like, but your knees are fine. Your shoulders are nice. But like, so I've worked with people where, they only wore leggings and big t-shirts because they felt like they were big. And I was like, you're a normal person. You need to like find what flatters your body. My other career is home staging. So I do, it's like interior design for real estate. I've also done interior design for clients. But do you want to leave?
Oh man, there's the stuff if Nick comes by.
Okay. So home staging is for real estate. We basically come in and bring all this furniture in empty houses and in partially in lived-in houses as well, just to make them look better for the open houses and for pictures. So basically it's interior design, but it's like temporary. And we own a lot of furniture. I'm actually freelance with the company. I founded the company and then I kind of stepped back to freelance because it's just easier for me to just come in and design and then leave. And yeah, so it's interior design for real estate, it's just called staging.
Where do you store all your furniture?
They have a storage in Commerce, and it's just, we've got a lot of furniture. And sometimes we trade it out or we like sell some pieces and get new pieces. But I think the goal is to just accumulate a ton of furniture and just keep it in a warehouse and but then you have to be having enough jobs to be using multiple pieces of furniture now, like at a time. But we have one house that we just staged for a rental, but it's just like for the pictures and for the open house for a rental though, which was new. And it was a really cool, we do a lot of mid-century modern furniture and kind of like these kind of Turkish pillows and like, I like very bohemian, vintagey, kind of similar to my aesthetic, like clothing aesthetic, but very that kind of style in furniture. So recently I've been doing a lot of video games. I've kind of been like the soldier girl go-to, I guess. So I'm in the Elder Scrolls, which I've been doing for about 4 years, I think. I don't know how many characters now, like probably 10 or more characters over the years. I just did a session last month, and so I am the Bosmer females, the Dunmer females, the Maormer females, like I'm all these different. I'm the Drake of Blades is like a bigger character, that's actually a real character. So you can search that, it's on my website too. And I also just did World of Warcraft. I'm 2 characters in World of Warcraft. I just did a new session. I also am in a new game called, I don't know if I can talk about it yet. It's a new EA game. I didn't sign anything, so I don't know if I cannot talk about it, but
Probably not.
it's a new EA mobile game that's coming out. I just recorded that, but yeah. Oh, and I do a regular voice. If anyone's in Central Coast, California, I do KSBW, which is ABC in the Central Coast.
The Oscars, Sunday, March 4th on Central Coast ABC. Brought to you locally in part by the Monterey Regional Airport. Brought to you locally in part by Rabobank. Brought to you locally in part by Carmel Stone.